Bound only by frozen memories. It's fine. Racing all these broken dreams.
Right. So, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. That's right. Congratulations for welcoming you back to the live stream. Thank you for joining us on this week's podcast with your host, 2Million25. That's me, guys. That's me. I'm 2Million25, and welcome back to another exclusive podcast. That's right. I'm here today with, obviously, the infamous, who we got? We got the infamous Exodus D, everybody. Welcome, Exodus. Welcome to the podcast today as one of the guests.
Yo, 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 what up?
And also, we've got the infamous, the terrifying, the exclusive, and the outright disgusting Tara K. Dick, everyone. Welcome, Tara. Welcome. So, without further ado, we're going to jump into today's podcast. I'm really sorry that the podcast is so late in the day, but I promise you, we've kept it really juicy and really delicious. You guys are going to love today's podcast. We got serious topics. We got people dying. We got people making bombs. We got android people who are not human. We've also got Fortnite news. Everybody likes a bit of Fortnite. Am I right? Anyway, before we start the podcast, I just want to say a massive shout out to everybody for joining us up in the podcast today. We first of all, we got to say a massive shout out to Laura for smashing in that door with the first like, comment, and the goddamn view. She got the crown, everybody. She's got a crown. Well done to you, young lady. First time ever getting the crown. Very good. Second in command, Tony Woodworth, joining us over at youtube.com with Laura. And not forgetting, over at twitch.tv, we got the infamous Electric Skateboard, keeping it live over there. I'm not joking. This guy is like starting to run into some serious territory now. And obviously, Spade 809. What's up, Spade? Welcome to today's podcast. Also, we can't start without saying a massive shout out to the sponsors. Obviously, we got CD Keys, we got Cinch Gaming, and we've also got the infamous Razor.com. Be sure to go check them out. Links in the description as always, and not forgetting the awesome discount that you guys can get by using the links in the description. And where discount codes apply, you get to win. Basically. Also, not forgetting the infamous merchandise. Tara just flaunted all of her merch that she got from the store yesterday. So, literally, Sean was wearing a brand new T4 Army t-shirt today. Looks lit and looked epic. If you guys want to grab yourself some T4 Army merch, you know what you need to do. Head over to the merch shop and check it out right now. Also, Crazy Hole did her little show and tell yesterday with her T4 Army shirt. She got a jumper. Tara got a fucking wardrobe. So literally, if you guys want to grab yourself something awesome, we've got the summer sale starting very soon, and we're going to be having some brand spanking new designs for you guys to tantalize into. So be sure to check that out if you haven't done so before. And obviously, not forgetting the infamous G2A.com over at twitch.tv, and not forgetting Streamlabs and G4G for delivering me all of those magical donations you guys keep doing to the podcast. I want to say thank you. And thank you very much. As always, if you guys want to get involved with the podcast, all you got to do is drop your comments in the comment section, and I'll be sure to drop to talk about them during the podcast if it's relevant to the topic that we're talking about. And also, don't forget, if you're brand spanking new here, be sure to smash that like, subscribe if you're on YouTube, and follow us if you are over at twitch.tv. If you're watching us at Smashcast, be the first to get shouted out. Be sure to get there if you haven't been there before. It's pretty lit. So I just want to say thank you again, and let's begin with today's first topic. And today's first topic, everybody, that's right, it's TJ Miller. What's up, TJ? That's right. If you guys don't know who TJ Miller is, he is this really ugly white guy with curly hair. It looks like someone dunked his head in the toilet, and then it's not dried quite properly. That's TJ Miller, everyone. So TJ, if you don't know him, is infamous and is very famous from the Deadpool film. So basically, if you didn't know him before, you would have known him after that film. He was the apparent comedian in the film. He is a funny guy, don't get me wrong. I do find his comedy quite hilarious. But it's like a very dry comedy. That's the way I'll put it. So TJ Miller was arrested for allegedly making false bomb threat on Amtrak train. So basically what happens, just to break the story down for you guys if you guys didn't hear about it, is basically this guy gets on a train and basically calls 911, reports that there's someone on the train who is being suspicious and might be carrying a explosive device. And then what ends up happening is the occupants start to go crazy, and they have a backwards and forward exchange. It's a me and you thing. So I got ABC News over here and the infamous anchors over there who are going to tell us all about this beautiful story. So please turn up your headphones, turn up your mics, and have a little listen to what the ABC host has got to say. Because I cannot be asked to talk about this whole thing, so I just want to give my opinion afterwards. So we'll have a listen in on ABC's. I don't know what her fucking name is, but we'll have a listen. I don't get with the buffering. Prison. I don't know why it keeps buffering. Oh, no, don't tell me that. Really? Oh my god, I didn't press that button. My god, oh my god, we just did the boopiest booper.
He was sued in 2016 by an Uber driver who
You should be able to
claimed
hear it now. You should be able to hear it now.
Miller assaulted him. That case settled in March.
And Miller appeared in court Tuesday. He was released on a $100,000 bond. He has not responded to our request.
This is not funny. It's no.
So that's T.J. Miller. So basically, I want to get you guys your opinions on this particular topic. I'm sorry you can hear the actual audio there. It was a little bit my fault on that one. I didn't hit the goddamn audio button on the stupid video playback, so I'm sorry. Okay, but you can kind of understand what happened. Basically, he's an idiot. He's probably going to face jail time for this shit because there's no excusable defense for video output low. Why is that low? What has happened? Let me just refresh this. Wait, because it's saying YouTube is video output is low. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Yeah, that's because of this fucking retarded video from ABC News that just is super retarded. Let me just check everything's back on track. Come on, YouTube. Go back to being green. Go back to being green. Is it? It looks okay. It looks okay. I think it's just talking about this video buffering was rubbish. Anyway, T.J. Miller. So like the story says, which I'm sorry you guys didn't hear a lot of the audio. I apologize for that. But basically, he accused this woman on the train, because they had this confrontation prior to him making this accusation. They had a confrontation, a screaming match, as you want to call it, and he thought he'd get his own back by calling up 911 and claiming that she's got a bomb in her bag and acting suspicious, even though he was heavily intoxicated and has admitted to being someone who has problem with drink from the past. And from that issue, he's now been arrested. He's been given bail at $100,000. I think $100,000. The bail is. Let me just double check for you. I'm sure he was bailed at $100,000 was the bail that was he was allowed. But he's probably going to be facing some serious jail time. The real question I really want to sound. Wow, he sounds so dumb. He is. The question I really want to pass off to you guys who are watching us live, and for those of you who are with us as guests in the podcast today, is obviously, what is your takeaway from this particular incident with T.J. Miller? Do you think there is any excuse, considering the kind of climate that we live in at the moment, where terrorism happens, people are will easily react to that kind of threat? Do you think that he put things in a very stupid way? Because sometimes some people have described him as being like a child in a man's body, but he's like more childish than he should be in public. So really the question I want to pass off to Mr. Exodus D first really is, what do you think about this particular incident that happened with TJ Miller? And did you know TJ before this happened? And what do you think about him after hearing about this piece of news?
I did hear about this through like Twitter and stuff, and I kind of read into it, and I was like, that's like more ridiculous than like doing like someone like swatting somebody else online. Like that's like people can hear you calling, like people know right away it's you. Like for swatting, like it's tough to tell. And I didn't really know, or I knew of him, but I've never like seen any of this stuff before this. But I saw that, and I'm like, that's just the stupidest thing you can ever do, drunk or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit excessive to call someone, say someone's carrying a bomb when all it's because you had an argument with them.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, do you think it's an excusable thing that he's done?
No, not at all.
So in terms of like,
if he was drunk.
yeah, go on. Now go on. What was you saying?
Even if he was drunk, even if he was drunk, that's still not okay.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, if this is a crime, I mean, what sort of punishment do you think would send the right kind of message to people who are famous, who think they can use their position of power to cause some problem for people who don't have that kind of power?
It's hard to tell because since he's like rich and famous, he can get like a really good lawyer and get probably like a good like plea deal on it. But he should get the same amount of time as like anybody else who does false prompts, which I believe is, I don't want to say because I don't want to be wrong, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that it's worse than swatting. You know, it's worse than swatting because swatting is mainly done on streamers and is generally something which, I mean, people report someone's got a firearm or is displaying a firearm or whatever it may be. But this is like someone who's famous. Like, this is an actor who is saying somebody else has got whatever it is and they don't. Which is a bit of, that is the shocking bit. You know, there is really no call for it, to be honest with you. But thank you for your comments. Let's move over to Miss Tara K. Tara, did you know who TJ Miller is? And not only that, do you like TJ Miller now?
I have no clue who he was or is or whatever.
So, did you ever see Deadpool, Tara?
No.
You never went to see Deadpool.
No.
Did you ever see? I don't know if he wasn't in any of the X-Men movies. He was in Deadpool. That's the last film. That's the last thing that he played in that you would have seen, maybe, if you had watched it. He was in there as the sidekick character, I guess. Yeah. So you didn't know who TJ Miller is, and do you think you're going to become a fan anytime soon?
No, not at all.
No. I mean, the thing is, this kind of issue that happened with him, calling the emergency services on somebody who might be potentially carrying a bomb when it was just a full-on prank. Do you think that's a justifiable action?
No, it's idiotic.
And I mean, the thing is, if you feel there's a crime being committed here, what do you think the kind of punishment would be for this kind of crime?
Yeah, I think it's a crime. I think he should serve jail time, but with him being an actor, he probably will get himself out of it somehow.
I mean, the other question I have really that raised up was that the bond was set at $100,000. Do you think that's enough for someone who's as wealthy as he would be in the industry as being an actor?
No, not at all. I think it should have been higher.
I can hear your mom in the background. Your mom's like, "No, goddamn it, it's not enough, not enough."
She's listening to the stream and she's answering.
She's passionate.
She's answering.
Marlene, get on the chat. Start typing your comments. I mean, the thing is, the bond was set. I mean, it was a bit ridiculous. The judge sets a bail bond of $100,000 for someone who starred in Deadpool, which was I think made like $380 billion globally. I don't think he's poor enough not to be able to afford more than that.
Right.
Because normally a bond is set. I mean, the thing is, a bond is normally set because it would be set at a level where someone would potentially be able to afford it, but it would cause them issues to afford that. You know, It's not meant to be like an amount which is easily affordable. Like, it's pocket change. I can just pay for that easy. You know, get out of jail free card. This is Monopoly all day, every day. So I think that was a bit of a. I think that was a bit of a low. I don't know. I think that was a bit of an insult, really, to people who get swatted all the time and nothing really happens. In terms it's more severe for people who get swatted. And I think someone in this kind of power should have definitely not done something like this. But we had a couple of comments from Laura. Laura said, "Wow, he's so dumb, but not as dumb as my ex." So apparently, Laura's ex would have said maybe two people are carrying bombs in their bags, and when he clearly knows that they didn't have anything in there in the first place. The Gaming Pro came out with the punishment should be taking their money away for a week. Do you think that would be enough? I don't know if that'd be enough. What does everybody else think? Let me know in the comments down below. Deadpool is great. Deadpool 2 is coming soon. Can't wait. The punishment should be all their money gone and 3 months in jail. Well, that escalated quickly. So the Gaming Pro changed his mind on that one. Added a little bit extra. You know, add a little cherry on top just to make things a little bit more interesting. For TJ Miller. If you guys have got any more you want to say about TJ, please drop it down in the comments down below. This is a very weird story, one, and two, it was very interesting to me because I couldn't believe someone who I would have said would have not acted like this, because I've been quite a big fan of, not fan, but I have seen his comedies and I find them quite funny, and I find his comedy quite funny because it's like a very dry and kind of like sarcastic comedy, which I tend to quite enjoy, but this kind of thing happening, I think, kind of shows a true color. And I think we were talking about this the other day, if you guys remember. We were talking about people seem to get to a level in life where they feel like they're above the law, and then the law comes to crash down on them, and it's like the never-ending spiral of failures from that point on. So we also had a comment from Marlene. Marlene said he is a person's kids look up to. Oh, he's a person kids look up to. He is ridiculous, and the bond should have been higher, not higher, a lot higher. Thank you very much for your comment, Marlene. We appreciate it here. If you guys don't know, Marlene is Tara's mom. That's right. We got a whole family. I did say family-friendly entertainment. I was joking, but actually we've got a whole family watching the show. So please let us know if you've got any other comments you want to say about TJ Miller. But we're going to move on from this idiot because there is just so much idiocracy I can take in one day, and that's my limit, pretty much. Next thing that's coming up is about this real tragedy that happened. If you guys remember on last week's podcast, we did talk about, we gave Exodus a little platform to talk to us about something that he's really interested in, which is obviously hockey. He gave us the hockey playoffs and the predictions that will be coming your way in 2018. And basically, 1 week on, and we have this tragedy. And this tragedy is around Canadians don hockey jerseys to honor 16 killed in a bus crash. That's right. So basically, there was a hockey school. There was a school bus. And I mean, they were driving in a snowbound area, but that's not the point. But basically, they were driving in one direction like this, and there's a crossway. So they're here at the junction. There's a stop sign here, and there isn't a stop sign here. And basically, they were coming through this way, and the car that was coming on this side was meant to stop, didn't stop, and just plowed straight into the minibus, and killed 14, killed 14 and injured 4. I think that's what it is. Oh, hold on. Where's the numbers? Wait, I need to find out the numbers. 16 personal. Yeah, that's the people who died. There were 16 in total that died, but there was additional casualties. Not everybody died. Only a certain amount died and a certain amount lived. Or maybe they're all dead now. I'm not sure. Maybe this is escalated slightly from the other day when I saw the news. So basically, if you guys haven't heard about this, I have got a little video to play for you guys, and this one will have the audio on, so enjoy. It's going to be interesting, so please be sure to turn up your headphones so you guys can hear this loud and clear. I will full screen this so you guys can see it much easier. So yeah, this is the sad news that happened with this hockey team. 50 people have died after a truck collided with a bus carrying a junior hockey team, Canadian police say. Look at that shit. A truck smashed into them. The team was on its way to a playoff game in Western Canada. So obviously. don't know why this buffering thing is happening. What's going on here? Police say there were 29 people, including the driver, on board the bus of the Humboldt Broncos team. I don't know if I'm saying that right. If I'm not, please forgive me. Police say, oh, I read that already. When the crash occurred around 5 p.m. On April 6th on Highway 35 in Saskatchewan. I can't read to save my life. Okay.
Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. The rest of the passengers were taken to hospital with injuries, some critical. This was a very sad thing that happened. I'm not gonna. There's no two ways about it. The truck driver was not hurt, obviously. Semi-truck hits a bus. What do you think was gonna happen? That's like saying, you know, I took a hot knife to butter. The head coach, Darcy Hogan, and the team captain, Logan Sanchez, are among the 15 dead, relatives said.
Everything about this family.
Wow, that's insane, man. Literally, the whole
this
team.
Tragedy is unprecedented, and it's overwhelming.
Kevin Garner,
including the torrential outpouring.
Sorry about
of
this
support
buffering thing.
our
I don't know what's happening
organization
with this
has
buffering
received.
thing.
As a league, we will support the Humboldt Broncos.
This is Bill Chow.
Every way possible.
He's the league president, junior hockey.
The rest of the league is doing whatever
He's crying.
we
It's
decide
an emotional time, dude.
that we will decide to do moving forward.
So that's what happened with the hockey team. It's a very, very sad and tragic story of what happened. I mean, we've heard about these tragic and sad stories, especially with hockey in general. I mean, Exodus explains to us about his personal experiences and his past and what happened with his hockey career. And it isn't a sport to be taken lightly, but to be honest with you, hockey players generally expect to get hurt while playing the game, but not on the way to a game. And I think, you know, I mean, me personally, the only thing I really want to say is that I'll send my condolences out to the families who've been affected, to the hockey community, obviously, because there's been a massive mourning. The Broncos actually wore Broncos on the back of their shirts. One of the games that came afterwards, at the Ontario's legislature. Members of the Provisional Parliament from all parties wore jerseys. Meanwhile, Toronto's transit authority said it was allowing employees to wear jerseys over their uniforms. A number of Toronto schools posted photographs on social media of students wearing their jerseys. So basically, it's been a time of mourning, and really the only thing I personally have to say about this, like from a personal perspective, is if you guys have got loved ones, if you have got people that, you know, you maybe haven't spoken to them, maybe you haven't talked to them, maybe you haven't given them that time, maybe you fell out over some minor thing, some major thing, just bear this in mind, that every day we wake up and those people who we may have some tiff with, we may have some beef with, we may not talk to them. But the thing is, just imagine if this tragedy happened and then would be thinking, oh, if only I had another chance, I would have said whatever, you know. Take that time now. If you got your loved ones, the nearest and the dearest and the closest to you, just look at them and give them a hug right now, because you never know what tomorrow will bring, and it may be the last time you ever do it. It's sad to say, it's sad to think, but I'm telling you, a lot of these parents would have sent their kids to play this game not expecting that their kids wouldn't be returning from it. And I think it's upon us to take that sort of responsibility, that we shouldn't let small grudges take over us, because once someone's gone, they're gone forever. They're never coming back. So really, I want to start off with Miss Tara K. I was going to start with Exodus, but I think Exodus will have a lot to say about this topic. So we'll kick it in with Tara K. Tara, what's your personal sort of takeaway from this story? I mean, what do you feel about this tragic story of these innocent hockey players really ending their life so short when they had such a long life to go.
It's extremely sad. Like, yeah, the truck didn't stop when it was supposed to, so.
Yeah, I mean it is. I mean it's really bad. You know, I mean the road markings. If you guys go have a look at the like more detailed news, you'll see the road markings where this incident took place was clearly signed. 2 stop signs, opposite sides, and then the main road, which is where the bus was traveling down, there was no stop sign, so they were free to go. So the lorry supposed to stop, but just didn't stop. And this was the result of it. And I mean, the thing is, this happening. I mean, do we deem this as an accident, or is there foul play here? That's my real question, Tara, to you. Really, is should there be some sort of repercussion for the driver of the truck?
Oh, definitely. He just took 15 lives. Like, even
what
if
does
it,
that
like,
yeah.
I mean, there could have been something wrong with his truck, but he could have tried to do something else to prevent it. Like,
Well, reports have come out about the actual truck itself. The truck actually had no mechanical failure. The brakes were working perfectly fine. So there's not actually
so there's
been
no reason that he should have hit that bus.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
he
so yeah,
literally
he
just
definitely
failed.
should.
He just failed to stop, basically.
Some sort of punishment for it.
Because I would say, to a certain degree, you could technically say if you take a vehicle and you drive someone over with it, that's got to be murder, right? Because your intent is to cause harm. So,
right.
I mean, him not stopping at that stop sign is him making a decision that if something did pass through there, that it would end badly. Because he's driving a semi truck, you know. He's not driving like a little pickup or something. He's driving a fucking full on semi truck, and it was carrying some heavy shit as well, which was everywhere, as you guys saw in the report.
Yeah.
So in terms of classification, in terms of this kind of crime, I guess, what kind of crime is it? Is it murder?
I would say it's murder on 15 accounts.
And in that case, that's like lock the door and throw away the key. Is that right?
Yeah.
In that respect, though, I mean, do you think that no one has any justification in terms of trying to, and I'm just putting this out there, by the way, guys, do you not think someone would have a right to kind of give a reason as to why they may not have stopped, or you know, like maybe having a lowered sentence if it does turn out to be a crime? You know, what's your personal takeaway from that?
I don't know. To me, he just took lives where he could have stopped. Like, there's nothing wrong with his vehicle, so I think that he should get the maximum penalty. Honestly.
Okay. Is there anything additional you wanted to add to this story that I haven't sort of asked you? Is there anything you want to say?
My heart goes out to the families of the people that were just mowed over, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's a very, very sad time for them.
Well, thank you for your comments, Tara. I'm going to move it over to Exodus D. Obviously, Exodus, I'm sure he's going to have a lot of passionate words to say about this particular topic, because it's very close to heart for him, because it's his division of sport that this had to happen in. I mean, Exodus, you being an ex-hockey player yourself, I'm sure for you, it must be... This is not the way hockey players see themselves exiting the game, surely, right?
Not at all. They expect to do a whole career and then retire at the end and just have a lavish life.
Yeah. I mean, even for you, your hockey game coming to an end quite briefly. It's a natural sort of ending because of injuries, which is an expected thing. You know, no one's ever expecting a semi truck to be running them down, and that's how you end your hockey career. In your personal opinion, Exodus, what what's your takeaway from this particular? I mean, they're claiming it to be an accident currently, but what is your personal takeaway from what you've just witnessed?
I mean, in my opinion, since you said there was nothing wrong with the brakes or anything, I just think that he just thought that he could make it across before the bus, and then the bus just came quicker than he thought. So I'm thinking, I'm not saying he did, but he might have misjudged the timing. But regardless, at the end of the day, 15 people are dead, and nothing you can do about it. But it's his fault for hitting the fucking bus in general.
So, I mean, what do you see? So, is there a crime here?
Yeah, it's fucking. It's either vehicular manslaughter or murder.
Okay, so if we say vehicle manslaughter, what sort of punishment would you say would be a justified punishment that someone should get for this kind of recklessness?
For that on 15 counts, either the death penalty or, as you said, fucking lock him up and throw away the key. Don't look back.
I mean, the thing is, it is a sad thing to see life being lost so easily. But, I mean, the thing is, I mean, do you think there's a way that families would be able to find peace? Would they find peace in someone being punished to the most severe of the law? Because it's not going to bring the people back. But do you think it would bring some sort of empathy and sympathy for their case?
For sure, like, because the people that took away, they're very young. Because for Virginia hockey, it runs between 18 and 21. So all of them were in that frame. So losing their young kids to somebody just being reckless and fucked up is just, that would make them not feel completely better, but have some sort of like, okay, they got the guy that killed them. We can rest easy.
It's like justice. It's a justice for those that are deceased. Okay. Is there anything additional you wanted to add to this story before we move on?
There was a couple of things. One of them was there was a GoFundMe that got set up to give money and stuff to the victims, and they set up a goal for $4 million, and it's currently at 10.1 or $10.9 million.
Wow. So there was a GoFundMe, if you guys didn't hear, Exodus was saying there was a GoFundMe that was set up to raise $4 million, did you say, initially?
Yeah.
And it actually it's exceeded $10 million now. I don't know if the GoFundMe is still live. Is it still live, or is it closed now?
It says it's still live.
If it's still live, if you want to copy the link into Discord, I will post it on the chat. So if people want to donate to it, they can. Also, be sure in the description to check it. The link will be there as well after this video goes live, where you guys can actually, if you're watching this video on playback, if you feel like you want to contribute maybe $1, $2, or whatever you can spare to the victims. Every penny counts. Every penny's going to the actual victims, so the parents, to help with funeral costs and stuff like that, because that's a lot of times people don't think about is funerals aren't free. They're actually a chargeable service to have someone buried, basically. So it will go towards a lot of those sort of things, and there is additional people who are in critical and non-critical condition, and they're going to need obviously further medical attention, and that money that's being raised is going to be used for those things as well. So I mean, it's gone past $10 million, which is incredible to see everyone coming together and actually supporting the families who have lost their loved ones, and for those who are still in critical condition or are still suffering from injuries that they're recovering from. So Exodus will be dropping that momentarily in the Discord chat, and if you guys
I already did.
If you guys want to follow the link to that, it will be dropped right now in the chat for you guys who are watching us live, and for those of you who are watching on let me get down to this chat. And for those of you who are watching us live, you can watching us on playback. Sorry, you can click on the link that will be in the description as well, and that should be able to get you to where this donation line is. So let me just get that down for you guys. Just bear with me 2 seconds. So that link that's been dropped right now for the GoFundMe is for the GoFundMe for the victims of this horrible tragedy, really, that's happened over in America. I mean, it is sad. It's sad to see lives lost in such a bad way. It's just the worst. You know, it's just the worst. You know, I'm pretty adamant none of those parents, you know, would expect this to happen. Exodus, is there anything else you want to add before we move on from this story?
No, that was it.
That was it. Okay. Well, thank you for your contribution, guys. I just want to read out a couple of comments that have been dropped in the chat from you guys. We had the Gaming Pro who did write down a few comments which Nightbite deemed unreasonable, but I'm going to unreasonable them and add them anyway. So he wrote down that fucking guy, he should go to jail for life. Also, he wrote down the truck driver should have got hurt. And then obviously some other derogatory stuff. And then the driver should have broken both arms and get fucking slammed to the door. So some very obviously very emotional kind of responses, and which is rightly so, because I think it's easy for people to say, oh, you know, it's an accident, but undue care attention on snowy roads where visibility isn't good should never be taken lightly. So, you know, always be safe, guys. Never ever think that you know, you never know. It might not be your driving that will cause a problem. It might be somebody else's recklessness that may cause you to become a victim of this kind of stuff. So be safe out there and take care of yourselves when obviously being out on the road, because we don't know when our time's coming, and when it comes, it seems to come sometimes in the most horrific ways possible. But moving on from this story, I just want to say hi to North Gaming for joining us over at youtube.com. So moving on from that, we have got something a little bit different to talk about, something a bit more fun, a little bit more upbeat from the sadness that we've just walked away from, and that is Fortnite. Fortnite is making absolute trends. It's making splashes in the right places. So Fortnite is making almost $2 million a day from iPhone players, as reported. So with the Minecraft meets Hunger Games hybrid, Fortnite Battle Royale is bringing in around $1.8 million a day in in-app purchases, reports Sensor Tower. There are a few reasons why the figures is so mind-boggling. The game has only been available on the iPhone since March, but it has but in that time, it has already passed the average daily spend by players of other popular iPhone games like Candy Crush, Clash of Clans, and Pokemon Go. Unlike similar games where spending money on in-app purchases gives you an advantage in gameplay, buying more powerful weapons, for instance, all of Fortnite's in-app purchases are purely cosmetic. There are things like outfits and emotes, things that don't give the player an advantage over other players. Yet still, Fortnite users have spent $15 million on the in-app purchase so far. And keep in mind that Fortnite isn't even on Android yet. When it releases on the platform, Fortnite has a real shot of becoming one of the biggest mobile games in history. So just to give you guys a little playback on this, there is a video? There is a little chart here just to show like the daily Fortnite spending. This is globally, by the way. So on the 3rd of the 16th. It did 400,000 spends, and then by the 4th of the 1st, it reached 1.6 million, and then by the 4th of the 2nd, it done the magical 1.8 million spending on the game daily. This is daily, okay, guys. This is a daily trend every day. You imagine? I mean, that is just ridiculous. And it's not even the game that you see on the PlayStation or on the PC. It is the game that's on mobile, and it's only available on iOS at the moment. It's not out on Android, and it's not expected to be out until between the 30th and the 6th of April. Fortnite players. Oh no, that's just how much they spent. Sorry, let me just quickly check if it's coming out when it. I don't think they have had a release date yet for when it's coming out on. No, they haven't. They haven't put a release date for when it might be coming down on the Android. But when it does, it's gonna blow everything out of the water. I can tell you that much. So yeah, it's pretty insane. It is pretty insane. I mean, there is so many things, so many records that Fortnite is setting, and it's just making things insane on the platform. And really, we've seen it ourselves. I mean, we're playing the game like literally every single day. We're streaming it every day because it's just so addictive. Even before we started the podcast, me and Tara jumped in and just did one match quickly before we started doing the podcast, which is it's just insane. Literally any given time I've got, I'm just like, Fortnite, anybody? So literally, even I can feel it. I'm not even spending any money in the game. But I can feel the hype on the game for definite. And really, I mean, the kind of question I want to pass off to you guys, especially the guests in the show today, is we'll come to Exodus first. And basically, the question I've got for you, Exodus, is Fortnite making all these waves. I mean, surely this kind of trend can't last forever. Am I right?
You never know. There have been a lot of trends that have been around for a while. Fortnite could just die off tomorrow, or it could last like 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
It just depends on if they keep adding new things to it or not.
I mean, you've seen the Fortnite gameplay that we've been doing and stuff, and you may have played it around a friend's house as well. But I mean, what does it seem like an attractive game to someone like yourself who hasn't actually got a chance to play it?
I mean, from the way I see you guys playing it, it looks like it's like a blast. It's like colorful, and like it seems like it's easier. Like it's easier to spot people on in games like PUBG.
Yeah. I mean, do you think it's because of its non-seriousness that it's able to attract such a wider audience? Do you think?
I mean, in a way, yeah, because people like games that are like different. So instead of doing like the actual way like Battle Royale games are made, they just made it like really cartoony. So I think it attracts people because it looks more cartoony than like PUBG or like something else like that. So it attracts more people that way.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, I think there's a lot of I think Fortnite is going to be definitely here to stay. I don't know how long the trend's going to go for, because I mean games like Minecraft, games like Pokemon Go. I mean, for me, I'm thinking more along of Minecraft, of what it's been able to do. It's been able to stay pretty relevant considering it's a very old game now. I'm just thinking of whether Fortnite is going to have that sort of longevity, and is there a way that do you think they could ruin the game?
I don't know because I haven't like played it at all, so I don't know like anything. Like I know about it, but like, I don't know the things that like make it bad or whatever.
Do you feel like you're missing out by not being able to play it?
Yes, because I see how much fun it looks, but none of my friends have like a PS4.
Yeah. So you can see the attraction to the game, even though you don't even have
it. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And final question is, if you did have the game, obviously having seen the game being played, what is your favorite outfit in the game so far?
the gingerbread man from Christmas time.
Okay. All right, that was good. Okay, well, I'll bring Miss Tara K. If you haven't seen, me and Tara have been demolishing Fortnite. I mean, we've become AAA players, pro, super pro. I mean, you can't even touch us. I'll bring Tara. I mean, Tara literally walked me through this game. I mean, I would not have been able to manage without her in the game. It would have been impossible. So Tara, talk to us. This $2 million a day on the iPhone. I mean, will it change when it comes to Android? Could we double that on Android, do you think?
I think so, because there's a lot of people that use Android, like Android more than iPhone. So obviously they have an Android. So I think once that drops on there, everybody that has an Android is going to want to play it. And a lot of people pay to play things, even if it is just cosmetic.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, do you think that Fortnite could miss the Android train if they don't get on it quickly?
I think like the anticipation of it for people on Android might be getting overwhelming because they've had it on the iPhone service for so long. But
I mean, the thing is, we've seen playing the game together that it's a little bit of an addictive game.
Oh, it's very addictive.
And I don't know what they've put in it. You know, I mean, I can understand when you go to McDonald's and you eat something there and you're like, okay, I want another burger. But this is not the same. This is not food. You don't consume this. You know, it's something that you play. But yeah, it's so encouraging. Win. Yeah, it's so encouraging for you just to get on it anytime you're free. You just want to play that game. So, you know, is this kind of addiction a bit dangerous, do you think, Tara?
Well, I personally don't think so, because I play the game. And I'm one of those ones that are like, I need to play it now. So for me, no, but I don't play it all the time. Like, not in every
so you can take yourself away from the game.
Right.
But I mean, at the same time, do you find that it's difficult to take yourself away from the game?
No, because I get frustrated that I get killed all the time. So I mean, I'm great at the game. I never die. Sorry.
Right. So yeah, exactly. So I mean, the thing is, so the frustrations of game performance from yourself personally is what causes you to stop playing, basically.
Right.
Because you just feel like if you keep playing, you're just going to smash something.
Yeah. That anger is going to come out.
Okay. No, and that's fair enough. I mean, the thing is, I felt the same way, and I mean, we've done a couple of streams on it now. If you guys haven't checked it out, be sure to check it out. And where I've said, you know, this is the last game we're playing, and then we load in, and literally we die within 5 seconds, and we're like, okay, we can't make that the last one. We've got to do another one now because we just died like as soon as we loaded in the game.
Right. I think there was 4 last games yesterday.
Yesterday there was 4 last games, exactly. Yesterday we did 4 last games because we loaded in, and each time we're just getting raped left, right, and center. I mean, the thing is, let us know in the comments as well, guys, what you guys think about this $2 million spend a day on the iPhone version of Fortnite. Do you guys think it would be more if it was on Android? Do you think that Fortnite could miss the Android train, or do you think the hype on the game is just so crazy that it doesn't really matter when they release it? People will play it anyway. And also, I mean, one final question really for you, Tara, and one I'll pass off to the viewers as well, those of you who are watching live and those of you who are watching this on playback. Do you think you can see Fortnite becoming something which people don't play?
I don't see it happening anytime soon. But like, you never know, because
I mean, what do you think they would? I mean, what do you think they could do to make the game boring? What would they have done?
Well, right now you play it for free, so if they change that, nobody's really going to play. Right,
so if they turn it into a purchase game, then there'll be no point.
And I think the only way they're getting away with having it as a free game is because of all the in-app purchases that people do make. So once that starts slowing down, like they're not getting as much money as they are now, they might change stuff and the game might change altogether completely that nobody's going to like it.
Okay. And I think that's fair enough. That is definitely fair enough. Right, any comments coming in? Let's have a quick little read. We've had Almany Black back in the channel. He says, I'm a good Fortnite player, but lately been sucking dick because I broke my controller, so harder to play. So even Almany, suffering with a broken controller, is somehow finding a way to play the game still. Which, I mean, like, from GTA PS3 to Fortnite PS4, and like the whole stream... Oh, he's talking about my stream. Okay, ignore that comment, everyone. Sorry, I just read that comment. It's hilarious. No, nothing else. No, there is nothing. No other comment. Almany said, when PvE's out for free, just wait for a couple of months, and it's dead. Yeah, PvE. If you guys don't know about it, it's a new another battle royale game that's coming out on the PS4. Planning to be a free release game. That game looks very, very similar to Fortnite. The way that Fortnite's design is with the animation and stuff, rather than being a very realistic game. So that looks. I've seen that. We'll have to wait and see. I think. Unlike with like PUBG, for example, PUBG would have been what Fortnite is if they had released it on the PlayStation. I'm telling you now, that is what has killed that game. And the reason I think I've been thinking about this recently, and I don't think it's because PUBG didn't want it to be released on the PlayStation. I think PlayStation already had the plan to have Epic Games make Fortnite for the PlayStation and have a direct competition with that game, and they've obviously won. So I think this is what's basically happened with that. T4 in 2019 the beta will be gone, so Fortnite in 2019 the game will be with money. Right, okay, so Dennis is just letting me know, just so for you guys, you guys' information, if you guys haven't got Fortnite yet on your PS4, I would suggest you get it now, because in 2019, the game's beta will be finished, because it's in beta mode at the moment. It'll be finished, so then the game will probably cost something to download to play. So get it, I guess, while you still can. Also, it's Laura's birthday today. I forgot to wish her a happy birthday. So a massive happy birthday to Laura. And we'll sing you happy birthday at the end of today's live stream. So stick around to the end of the podcast. And happy 13th birthday. And it's the 13th as well. What is the chances? Anyway, moving on. We are going over to the next topic. Don't forget, guys, if you want to drop any comments down below about this particular topic from Fortnite, please leave it down below in the comment section. If you're watching us in playback, please be sure to drop it. I love to read them afterwards, just to get an idea of what you guys are thinking and what you're feeling about these different topics that we're talking about. Next one is this is Hope Academy. This is a autistic disability, difficult children, ADHD. They basically deal with children who have got some sort of problem or find it difficult to be in a normal school amongst normal children, and they specialize with their teachers in being able to give children that specific need, that specific help, to help them maximize their educational time so that they can actually achieve and become real successes in the future, not just people that people can call retards. So this is what they specialize in, and basically this is released from Fox News. Obviously we all know Fox News is fake news, but not this time, everyone, because everyone else has been reporting it as well. So a teacher, school aide fired after audio recording appears to capture them mocking autistic student. This is the autistic student that we're talking about. This little blonde boy from Louisiana. So basically, this young man, a Louisiana teacher, was fired, and an aide will be let go at the end of the school year after an audio recording appeared to capture the two mocking and teasing an autistic student. Melissa Davies, the student's mother, told WBRZ TV on Tuesday she caught the Hope Academy teacher and teacher's aide making fun of her 12-year-old son Camden on a recording device she placed in his backpack after his over-aggressiveness led to him wetting the bed. Davies said she was shocked to hear what the two employees said to her son at the Baton Rouge school. I just wanted to cry, scream, and do everything I could because it was so bad. Davies told the station to think that I had sent my son there every day and what had happened before it that I didn't know about. So let's see. I have got a recording for you guys to listen to, so don't panic. It's not like I'm going to make you read all. Actually, I don't have a recording. Nope. I don't have. I couldn't find a recording, so you're gonna have to read this. I'm gonna have to read this to you guys. So let me just wait for this to wake up a little bit. So in the recording, you can actually hear in the recording of this, you hear the teacher is heard saying to the boy, "You're just writing the word. What is hard about it?" The student is heard grunting before one of the educators is heard mocking him. So basically, he does like some weird grunt, and then the teacher does the same thing. Camden, which is the kid, "Why don't you have anything written down? That's why you can't sit with everyone. Tell your mama that," one of the teachers said. Let's see what they do to him in fucking public school. He was going to go to Live Oak Middle, and he would make it. He wouldn't make it for a minute. The other said. So there was a lot that happened on this tape. I wish I had the recording. That would have been good. If I had the recording, it would have been even better. But basically, I just want to bring the question off to you guys in the sense of what is your takeaway from this? I mean, I want to bring Tara into this because I know Tara will have a little something to say about this because she don't like people doing stuff like this. So, Tara K, what's your personal takeaway from knowing about this kind of? I mean, bearing in mind, Tara, that this school is designed. You know, its purpose is that their theos is that they specialize in helping children who are autistic, who have retardation, or have ADHD, or have some sort of educational defect. They professionally are able to help these children to be able to get into normal mainstream school with their miracle work. So, Tara, what do you think about their miracle work?
Well, one, they should be fired and certainly not be able to work around children, no matter what the kind of children they are. They go through all the training to deal with all the different types of special need children, and then they treat them like crap. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, the kid's autistic.
Right.
You know, there's no reason why they would have to be like this with an autistic kid. But then I'm thinking job satisfaction. You know, and I've spoken about this before. Is if you do something you don't really want to do, but you're just doing it for the sake of doing it because it pays a wage or it pays you a salary. Eventually, this is the kind of thing that happens because you're not actually interested in helping anything or anyone but your own pocket, and it comes out in weird ways. And you know, I don't want to kind of fire the horse or whatever, but it's for me, when I heard the tape recording, if you guys want to check it out, it is available on YouTube. When I checked out the tape recording, I did find it quite condescending how much they were mocking this little kid. And if his mum hadn't sent in that recording device, she would have never found out that this was happening. So really my question, going on from that point is, can we trust these specialized schools? I mean, are they really trying to do the best that they can, or is this just a bad apple, or is there things hidden behind closed doors that we just don't see?
You can't judge all the schools just by certain teachers, like, because I know some kids that go to special needs schools, or they're in special ed, and the teachers are great with them. So you can't just base an opinion on 2 idiot teachers.
Yeah, I mean, do you think there should? Do you think that a way to kind of control this from happening, like kind of stopping this from happening? Do you think maybe putting video cameras with audio in the classroom?
I was just gonna say that, have cameras in the classroom, yeah.
Hmm.
Because a lot of them might not even be able to tell you what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. This is what the difficulty thing is how do you protect children who are vulnerable like this in schools that are meant to be there taking care of them, but are really picking on the fact that they have got these problems.
Right. Yeah, they need to take better precaution of the way children are being treated in those classes. So I'm thinking cameras, or better, like I don't know, make teachers that are going to be like, I think a lot of teachers should do like go see somebody to make sure they're fit for that type of schooling they're going to be doing.
But the thing is, people can put on a front. People can pretend to be one way in front of one person and then another way in their own room, in their own classroom. And if they've got a classroom full of children that are similar to this young man, this young boy, who's to say what's going on? How would you know what's going on? You wouldn't know. And the thing is, what I was going to say is, how can, I mean, the principal, obviously they fired the teacher, and the teacher's aide who was in that classroom, who had witnessed this happening and was involved, is being let go at the end of the school term. Do you think firing people gets rid of the problem? Or will that teacher just go to another school now?
Well, I think firing them and pretty much banning them from teaching anywhere else would probably be the best bet, because they might just do it all over again.
But that's the thing; they haven't faced any prosecution. They've just been let go from the school.
There needs to be more to it than just letting them go.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything additional you wanted to add to this story before I get Exodus on it?
No.
Exodus D, talk to me. I mean, we talked about bullying before on this channel.
Yes.
What do you think about this particular topic?
That's just completely and utterly, there's no excuse. There's no excuse for any of that to ever occur in any sense of anywhere. Like,
I mean,
no way
do you think that just firing the teachers from their position fixes this problem?
In a way, yeah, but at the same time, as you said, you can just go to another school and do the exact same thing.
Yeah. I mean, people talk about having video cameras with audio inside of classrooms to protect students as well as protecting teachers, especially in these kind of environments where students are less likely to be, volatile if they're being mocked by people. They wouldn't know the difference really, because of how they express themselves. Do you think that's a violation of privacy for teachers, or do you think that it's actually a good thing?
I think it's a good thing for situations like this, because I mean, like, they should be careful where they put the cameras. Like, they shouldn't put a camera in every room, but just rooms that have special needs students.
Right. Okay. But students, basically, like students who are less likely to speak out about abuse and things like that that might be happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Before we move on, I mean, this is a very tragic story. I mean, if you guys have got anything you want to add to this story, please be sure to drop it down below. I would love to read your comments. What's happening? Yeah, I don't think there's anything interesting happening. They don't take anything. No, that's not anything interesting there. Okay. Okay. Laura has dropped a comment down below. Just to add to this. In my school, the teachers are thinking of putting cameras in the toilets, because people bunk. So so what she's talking about is people are bunking off school, or aren't going to classes, and teachers are thinking of putting cameras in toilets to see if children are actually not going to classrooms. Now, for me personally, that's a bit strange, because I think if students aren't going to classes, there's got to be only one of two reasons. One, they don't actually want to be in that class for whatever particular reason that it may be. And two, whatever the subject must be, it can't be something that's of interest to them, which is why they are obviously not going to the class. So, I mean, the thing is for me is, if that's the case, I mean, Exodus just said himself that he thinks cameras should be placed in specific areas, but not all areas. I mean, that's a bit of a concern. I mean, Exodus, what do you think about having cameras in toilets to check if students are bunking off school classrooms?
That's like a real invasion of privacy, because people can actually go into the bathroom, and who knows what people will do with those recordings. They have to see people going to the bathroom. Like, it's those getting to the wrong hands.
Exactly. I mean, what about you, Tara? What's your takeaway on toilets, cameras in toilets?
Yeah, I don't think there should be cameras in the bathroom at all. That right there.
I mean, students not being able to go, not going to class. That should be something that the school should be rectifying, depending on the type of lessons that students are missing, right?
Right.
I just want to put a final question to Exodus D on this particular topic. Is do you think this kind of incident that took place, do you think there's a punishment that should have happened to the teacher?
I mean, the only punishment they can really give her, like, for the school, is just fire her, which they already did.
Right. And that's sufficient. I mean, because the thing is, this kind of thing happening to a child is, the teacher gets fired, they move on with their life. You know, yeah, it might be a difficult time. They might have to find a new job or whatever. But at the same time, the student has to live with whatever has happened. I mean, the kid was wetting the bed because of what was going on in school, and the mum was completely unaware. So shouldn't there be more done?
I mean, there should be some sort of, like, I can't think of the word, like some sort of, like, investigation on it to see, like, what the proper punishment would be for the teacher and the aide.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll pass the question off to you guys. Really, what is your takeaway on this particular topic in terms of what happened to this young student? And if you have any personal experiences at school or at college or at university or anything of that nature in the educational background, but if you're a teacher yourself, what is your takeaway? What is your opinion? Where do you stand with this kind of thing? How can we stop these kind of things from happening? You know, what actions could be taken to make things more safer for children in schools? It doesn't only protect children, it also protects the teachers, because, you know, if teachers do what they're supposed to be doing in schools, there would be none of these things happening, to be honest with you. And I think it's very important that that schools take an active approach to stopping teachers being in classrooms who don't actually care about teaching. They just like the fact that they get paid to do nothing, to be honest with you. Laura put a final comment saying that the teachers say 38.4% of students are bunking off classes. Laura, what I would suggest to you is that next time you go to school, take your phone in with you and show them this podcast. And I've got this special message for your teachers. Maybe show it to your principal even. Principal Laura, whoever you are, whatever school this is I'm speaking to. If you have 38.4% of students bunking off of your classes by hanging around in the toilets to evade having to go to school, then I've got two questions. The first question is, why are your students not going to class? Is it because the class that they're going to, either A, they don't like the teacher that's there, B, they don't like the subject that's being taught or how it's being taught, or 3, that there's something else happening in that classroom that you don't know about? And the second part to this question is, putting cameras in toilets is a extreme privacy violation, which I'm pretty adamant you can't actually do by law. And if students bunk off from classrooms for whatever subjects they are, because I'm sure that 38.4% of students are bunking off of specific classes, and I think if you look at what classes they are, if you look at it properly, you'll actually find that it may be a specific teacher that's in those classes, it may be specific students that are in those classes, or it might be a specific subject that's been taught in those classes, and something isn't clicking, you know, it's not doing this. I think before you start thinking about putting cameras in toilets, I think you should definitely consider these particular things. And I have asked Lara I've asked her to show you this video so that you can take hopefully an objective view and make an actual rational decision, because I'm someone on social media and Lara will tell me what you had to say. So, and if you want to respond directly, please come onto the podcast and we can have you on the podcast as a guest, and you can talk to us all about what you think about this particular situation. It's not a problem at all. We welcome everybody's opinion on the 2Million25 channel. Lara also put as a final topic there, well, I know they don't like the teachers. They are more interested in their phones and they can't be bothered, or they are scared of bullies. So there's some serious things that have been touched there. I mean, the thing is, it's really difficult in schools right now. We spoke about bullying on the first podcast that the third. How many podcasts ago did we talk about bullying? Fourth one ago? About 4 podcasts back?
Yeah.
Yeah, so about 4 podcasts back, we spoke about bullying, and I think it was a very interesting subject. It was Tara's special topic of the week, and I think bullying has to be taken very, very seriously, in the sense that it can be something very, very small, very, very minor that no one takes, that doesn't think is something major, but when it's happening to you, you feel like you're the only person in the world that it's happening to, and there's no one there that can help you. So I think, you know, schools need to take a more proactive look at bullying. And, you know, I call upon Lara's principal, whichever school I'm talking to, come onto the podcast. Come and chat with us. We're reasonable. We're not going to grind you. We're not going to grill you. This is a very open platform where you're free to say and suggest. Bring numbers, bring figures that you may want to discuss, and we'll have it out. And we'll try and help you to fix your school. Anyway, from that, we're going to move on into the last and final topic. That's right. Final topic is Mark Zuckerberg. If you guys didn't know who Mark Zuckerberg is Facebook CEO. That's right. The Facebook CEO is currently being questioned by the data misuse in the wake of the Cambridge Analytica revelations. If you guys don't know who Cambridge Analytica is, it's basically a company that has been getting information from Facebook, political views of people, and has been using that information to push marketing and ideas, political ideas, towards certain people, and getting Facebook to block certain people from posting certain types of views and comments, because it would create this the ideal that they didn't want the result of. So that's basically what's happened. So what's happening now is Mark Zuckerberg is being questioned by the House of Senates, who I've been asking him a various of questions, and I've got this little video to play for you. I mean, the video that I've got from The Guardian is 5 hours. Is it 5 hours long? Yeah, it's 5 hours and 11 minutes. No, it's not 5 hours. 5 minutes and 11 minutes long. Sorry, is that 5 minutes or 5 hours? No, sorry, it's 5 hours and 11 minutes long and 28 seconds. If you guys want to watch it, just type The Guardian and check out the full video. I mean, I'm not going to play that here for you today. All I really wanted to talk about this is not really about the scandal of Facebook, even though it has a big part to do with this, but more in the sense of Mark Zuckerberg himself. He was asked numerous questions on numerous occasions by the House of Senate, and his responses are extremely bizarre. I'm going to play a video from another YouTuber called High Impact Flicks, which is a guy that I get a lot of my news from. Not that I hold his particular political point of views or anything like that. It's just that he's non-biased with his news and with what he has to say. And I just find it very amusing to what... And like I said to you guys before, if you're going to get your news, don't get it from one source. Get it from everywhere. And get it from places where aren't biased. They're not pushing one particular agenda. I just want to play this because I found this quite amusing in terms of Mark Zuckerberg's responses. And is he human or is he an android or maybe even an extraterrestrial being? I'm not sure, because what you're about to see is Mark Zuckerberg being questioned by the House of Senate. And just have a little listen to this. Make sure you turn up your headphones so you guys can hear this nice and clear. It's on full screen, so you should be able to see it quite easily. Enjoy, because I enjoyed this. It was hilarious.
A little picture here. Do you recognize these folks?
I do.
Who are they?
I believe, is that Diamond and Silk?
That is Diamond and Silk, two biological sisters from North Carolina. I might point out they're African American. And their content was deemed by your folks to be unsafe. So, you know, I don't know what type of a picture this is, if it was taken in a police station or what, in a lineup, but apparently they've been deemed unsafe. Diamond and Silk have a question for you, and that question is, what is unsafe about two black women supporting President Donald J. Trump?
Well, Congressman, nothing is unsafe about that. The specifics of this situation, I'm not as up to speed on as I probably would be if I didn't have a hearing. You
have 20,000 employees, as you said, to check content, and I would suggest, as good as you are with analytics, that those 20,000 people, you do some analytical research and see how many conservative websites have been pulled down and how many liberal websites. One of our talk show hosts at home, Nick Reed, this morning on the radio said that if Diamond and Silk were liberal, they'd be on the late night talk show circuit back and forth. They're humorous, they have their opinion, not that you have to agree or that I have to agree, do agree, don't agree with them. But the fact that they're conservative, and I just remember, if you don't remember anything else from this hearing here today, remember, we do nothing and we overreact. And we're getting ready to overreact, so I would suggest you go home and review all these other things people have accused you of today. Yet with your good team, they're behind you. You're the guy to fix this. We're not. You need to save your ship. Thank you.
Facebook's treatment of Diamond and Silk is just the latest example of censoring conservatives' voices. The pro-Trump sisters became a hot topic during Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg's second day of grilling on Capitol Hill today.
Do you subjectively manipulate your algorithms to prioritize or censor speech?
Congresswoman, we don't think about what we're doing as censoring speech. I think that there are types of content like terrorism that I think that we all agree we do not want to have on our service. So we build systems that can identify those and can remove that content, and we're very proud of that work.
Let me tell you something right now. Diamond and Silk is not terrorism.
Let's get reaction from the ladies themselves. Joining the angle now, the one and only Diamond and Silk. Okay, Diamond, let's start with you. Marsha Blackburn jumped on that because Mark Zuckerman's like, well, worried about you both up as well. Let's play this so people understand what you're referring to.
Please ask Mr. Zuckerberg, why is Facebook censoring conservative bloggers such as Diamond and Silk? Facebook called them unsafe to the community. That is ludicrous. They hold conservative views. That isn't unsafe. What's your response to?
Congressman, in that specific case, our team made an enforcement error, and we have already gotten in touch with them to reverse it.
Did you get contacted by Facebook, and has this been reversed?
No, we have not been in communication with Facebook. We have not been contacted. We have not spoken to anyone over the phone, so that was a lie.
Wait a second. This is the second night we've had you on. The second time Facebook has said they have contacted you and this has been dealt with. And this is the second night you've said no contact. Like, what? I mean, you guys are either not telling the truth or Facebook, and I'm sorry, I trust you guys, not Facebook in this circumstance. I mean, have you checked your messages? I mean, is your mailbox full? Like, what's going on?
If you go to the side of our Facebook page right now, you will see where people are still having issues with liking and following our page. The same algorithms are still there. Nothing has been resolved. And no one has been in communication with Diamond and Silk.
All right, they got to get in touch with you. All right, guys, there's
one more video. I just wanted to show you. Just so you get the full,
I'm sure that will be determined in the future. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank the gentleman from New Jersey. Recognize the gentlelady from Florida, Ms. Castor, for 4 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome, Mr. Zuckerberg. For all of the benefits that Facebook has provided in building communities and connecting families, I think a devil's bargain has been struck. And in the end, Americans do not like to be manipulated. They do not like to be spied on. We don't like it when someone is outside of our home watching. We don't like it when someone is following us around the neighborhood, or even worse, following our kids or stalking our children. Facebook now has evolved to a place where you are tracking everything.
Hold on, I just got given this link from Devil's Lair. Let's have a look at this. Oh well, we got that one already. So Mark Zuckerberg. Very interesting subject matter. I mean, his demeanor is just mind-boggling.
Because the primary thing that we do is have engineers who write code and build products and services for other people. There are certainly other things that we do too. We do pay to help produce content. We build enterprise software, although I don't consider us an enterprise software company. We build planes to help connect people, and I don't consider ourselves to be an aerospace company. But overall, when people ask us if we're a media company, what I hear is do we have a responsibility for the content that people share on Facebook? And I believe the answer to that question is yes.
All right, let me ask the next one. You can send money to friends on Facebook Messenger using a debit card.
That's my basic thing with the Mark Zuckerberg thing is his demeanor is so bizarre. I don't know how to put it, but he just doesn't seem like a normal person when he's talking. He just seems like somebody who is not really there. Like, he doesn't seem like he's actually in that body talking to like normal people. Like, when people talk, they react, like you see some sort of emotion, or he just seems very placid, very like, and he's always been a bit weird like that anyway. He's not the most I don't know, forthcoming person. He's always had a very strange demeanor anyway. But what is it with Mark Zuckerberg? He's so bizarre. Why is he so strange like that? I mean, I hate to pick on people, but he's a very weird individual when it comes to this kind of thing. Before we bring into the guests and get them to answer these a couple of questions on Mark and what their feelings are, we had Laura saying, well, that's not true. It's quite dangerous because some people hate Trump, and that and the people that support Trump, they can find their address and murder them. Okay. I think some people, and she also added, I think some people need to sort stuff out and stop judging other people by how they like things. It hurts. It's actually harassing them. And she also added, he's just a person, just standing there. So I want to bring, obviously, Miss Tara K into this. Tara, you know who Mark Zuckerberg is, obviously. What do you think of Facebook CEO? Isn't he the most bizarre person that you've ever seen?
It's like, I don't know. He does sound like, to me, he sounds like a tape recording. I don't know.
I mean, you're a bit of a Star Trek fan. I know that.
Yeah, I was just thinking of Data.
Data, right?
Yes.
Am I right? I mean, it even looks like Data.
Yeah.
You know, if the hair was slicked back black, I would not be able to tell them apart, because even the way he talks, the way he, I mean, if you guys watch this,
like
I'm not joking. If you watch the whole question and answer session and you fast forward to the bits when he's giving responses, it's the most bizarre thing. It's like and he's the CEO. That means he's the guy at the top of the tree of Facebook. So everyone else filters underneath him. Okay, this is the bit I'm trying to make everyone understand. And this is the CEO. This is the guy at the top of the tree. I mean, I understand some people may not have very good interpersonal skills. They may have, you know, anxiety. They may find it difficult to talk to people and whatever. He doesn't find it difficult to talk to people. His demeanor is like he's not a real person talking to real people.
Right.
So the question I really have is Mark Zuckerberg actually human? Tara, what do you think? If have we come across either android trickery, or is it a man from space?
I think it's a mixture.
Oh, Tara's adding to the controversy. It's a mixture, everybody. Tara says. Is there anything you wanted to add to Mr. Mark Zuckerberg, or about this little Facebook scandal that's happened with Cambridge Analytica?
No, I honestly didn't even know about it until just when you said the topics, what the topics were for today.
I mean, they're saying this is how Donald Trump got into power, was by basically using a sub company called Cambridge Analytica to influence Facebook in making certain things available quite easily, like information to assist in the Democrats coming into power versus the liberals coming into power by censoring liberal opinion. Basically, that's what they're saying Cambridge Analytica did, but then they're saying now they're picking on people who are Trump supporters. Facebook are doing this all by themselves now. Are picking on people who are Trump supporters. They're actually blocking and censoring those content over the liberal side of the fence. So that's just a little bit of information on what the hell this is all about in the first place. And just to let you guys know, Facebook's stock shares have actually dropped dramatically since this has happened. But when he came on to do this talk, it actually went up by 2 points, which is totally bizarre, because I think people have looked at this and thought, this guy's from the future. I think we're going to have to invest in his business no matter what. Exodus D. Is Mark Zuckerberg a goddamn alien? Is he a Martian?
I believe so, because of the way he acted during that whole interview and did the whole questioning and all that. Like, he's not human. He's something else. He's either an alien or some sort of robot or something. He's no way he's human.
I mean, the thing is, I'm just gonna ask you outright. Have you ever met someone in real life who is like that?
No.
Never.
Never.
So, And I just don't understand why no one else is talking about this. Why is no one else bringing up Mark Zuckerberg's bizarre demeanor? You know, I mean, surely the news outlets are picking on all these other little things, but they're not talking about his actual, you know, the way that he actually presents.
Yeah.
And why is that?
Because I really don't know, to be honest. It's probably because like it's hard to explain because fucking most like news outlets out here don't really like bringing up like stuff about aliens or robots that much. Or at least that I've seen out here.
Okay. But you can't run away from the facts, man. Okay, I mean, this dude is fucking weird.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never seen anything like it.
He's a different breed. He's a different.
He
breed.
is a different breed, man. Different breed. And I mean, the thing is, if you think about it this way, this is the CEO of Facebook. Do you trust someone on this, at that level, with your information?
Not really, to be honest. With how much shit he can do and all that, like, you know, that's why I tried my best to like not like post anything on Facebook. Like, really,
Laura wanted to...
like, pictures.
What was that, Exodus?
The only post I really have on Facebook is like pictures.
Yeah. Laura put a little thing in there, said, right, people need to stop lying as well. They just do it for attention. I don't really trust anyone with my personal information. Social media is probably the worst place to have any personal information, especially, it seems, if Facebook have got a hold of it, because they pretty much will trick you into signing things that you don't even sign up to, and before you know it, you're bombarded with political crap left, right, and center. What do you guys think about Mr. Mark Zuckerberg? Is he an alien, or is he a human? Or maybe he's an android. Or maybe he's the first AI that we haven't even known about. Or maybe he's a mixed breed. Or maybe he's a man from the future. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below if you're watching us live. And if you're watching us on playback, dude, drop the comment. I want to see how many people will upvote this to be a human, android, alien, man from the future, or a mixed breed. I would love to see your comments in those comments down below. And that's where today's podcast pretty much comes to an end. I want to say a massive thank you for everybody for joining us today on today's podcast. It seems like everybody seems to be quite hyped and enjoyed today's little podcast. Thank you very much. If you guys dropped a like, I would love to see you guys. He's an attention-seeking alien. That was from Laura. If you guys haven't done so already, please be sure to drop a like on the video. It really helps the channel out if you let us know if you like what you're watching. And also, don't forget to subscribe on this channel and on the second one with notifications on, so you know exactly when we're live and exactly when we're doing different types of videos. Also, not forgetting the infamous sponsors on the channel. As always, keeping it lit, keeping it live for you guys. We've got the Cinch Gaming, CD Keys, and obviously the infamous Razor.com over at YouTube.com. Not forgetting the merchandise as well. Be sure to go check that out if you haven't done so already. And links to all of it is down below. And also not forgetting G2A.com, G4G, and Streamlabs over at Twitch.tv. Keeping it real for me over at Twitch. So thank you for you guys who support us through this stream by donating, and those of you who buy the merch. And obviously for those of you who use the links when you have to make your purchases online for whatever it is you may need. I want to say a massive shout out to the special people over at Twitch.tv for keeping it real, helping me go for that 3 consecutive views every single time we hit that live stream. We want to end off with the people who are there. We've got Spade 809, Sean Mike 2, Marlon Wheeler, Tara K Dick, and Electric Skateboard. And not forgetting the people over at YouTube.com. We got Laura over at YouTube. We've also got the Devil's Lair. We've got Almany Black and the infamous Denny's Yazizi. So thank you very much for joining us over at youtube.com for those of you who were over there. And for my guests, I want to say a massive thank you to you guys as well. Thank you very much, Exodus D, and thank you very much, Tara K, for joining us on today's podcast.
Anytime.
No problem.
And hopefully we'll have them back probably with us next week. Don't forget, if you guys want to join and be part of the guest list on the podcast, all you've got to do is very, very easy. Head over to discord.com. Links, as always, are in the description down below. And you guys, all you need to do is have Discord installed on your iOS, your Android, your tablet, or your PC with a working mic, and you guys can come on and be part of the guest lineup on the podcast. And also, all you have to write in the message on the main T4 Army chat is you want to be featured as a guest, and we will look into having you on. But that's pretty much where we're going to end today's podcast. I want to say a massive thank you to everybody, and we'll be back in a very short while with a little bit of Fortnite gameplay for you guys over at YouTube and Twitch. So as soon as this podcast finishes in about 30 minutes, we're going to be starting up a Fortnite stream. So be sure to join us for that if you want to see me and me and Tara destroy everybody in the game. But until then, guys, as always, stay safe, stay awesome, and peace.